So we know that Nintendo is working on the Nintendo Switch 2 and how they're gonna announce it in March of 2025. But we also know a couple other things, like what kind of power, what kind of raw power this Nintendo Switch 2 will have, and also the leaks and rumors about it having more powerful third-party games, because one of the major downsides of owning a Nintendo Switch in 2024 is that you can't play one of the major third-party games because it just doesn't exist. The Switch isn't powerful enough to play that. But when we look at the Nintendo Switch 2 and its raw power, you gotta come across that it's gonna be either as powerful as the PS4 or even more powerful than the PS4, because the parts that made the PS4 and the Xbox One are pretty readily available. Now, this could mean that it is going to be more powerful, or they're just going to keep the same parts and make it a little cheaper, because, that makes the most sense. Now, there's been a lot of leaks and information about third-party games that aren't on the Nintendo Switch coming to the Nintendo Switch 2, even as a launch title, and is looking pretty promising as a launch title. Now, first of all, we got to cover on Breath of the Wild. Now, supposedly, Breath of the Wild will be getting a kind of remaster or just a lighten up so it can run more powerful hardware, so we can look at 60 frames per second and just beautiful overall lighting and whatever else. Now, there's one game that seems to be pretty likely to come to the Nintendo Switch 2, and that is, of course, Elden Ring. Now, Elden Ring has a lot of different releases. PS4, PS5, whatever. I was going to say PS6, but it's not out. But anyways, all of those. We also have it on the Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, and we also have it on PC. Now, for it to come to the Nintendo Switch 2 would make a lot of sense, because one of the main creators that made the Dark Souls series plays The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Now, this comes to say two things. The creator loves Nintendo, or just likes the company because, they like to play The Legend of Zelda a lot, or also they want to bring the game to the Nintendo Switch, because they have the first one, Dark Souls 1, but not the second one. So there is a possibility that we will be seeing Elden Ring when the Switch 2 is released. Now, in terms of games, the games that we know that we're getting on the Switch 2, there's no point of it really releasing only on the Switch at this point, is Pokemon Legends ZA. Now, this game is pretty exciting because this game has been in the works for, let's just say, 3 years roughly, and we had an extra year for it to be developed, and this is pretty fantastic. So yeah, also when the Switch 2 does release, you will see backwards compatibility. So backwards compatibility, don't be scared of buying a Nintendo Switch game this Christmas season, because you will be able to carry out your game to the Switch 2. So overall, really fantastic. I'm really excited to play games on the Switch 2. Now, there's been some leaks and information and rumors about it potentially having a boost. Like, once you put in a Nintendo Switch cartridge, it'll give you a prompt that you can upgrade it to a better version, so you can play the game at 60 frames per second and also have beautiful lighting. This is not confirmed, but there is a possibility of seeing this kind of feature. Now, another thing that people are talking about is the fact that the eShop is going to be kind of like the Wii U eShop. Remember how good that Wii U eShop was? Wowzers, that was a beautiful eShop. Honestly, I love that eShop. There was so much personality, music, and also the tabs. They didn't crash every time you move around your little thing. It just felt beautiful. It felt perfect. Now, there's some possibility that we will be going back to a Wii U eShop style. So you'll see the music, you'll see the tabs. If you want to play Mario games strictly, you click on the Mario tab. If you want to play Kirby, Zelda, whatever, you click on those tabs. It has the icon of the character that you want. So honestly, I'm really excited to see something like that, because that would be amazing. The Switch's eShop sucks. Like, I really don't like it because it crashes and it's just not that great. Now, there's also a whole bunch of other things, like potentially seeing backgrounds, that maybe the return of the theme shop, like you saw it on the 3DS, where you were able to buy different themes for $2 or whatever the case may be. If it was a theme that moved and had good music, you would pay more. And if it was a theme that it didn't really move, it was like a stale theme, but it had music, you'd pay less. And if it was just a color, you'd pay even less. But the system that they had was really, really good. Now, we're probably not going to see like a web browser, because there's a lot of things wrong with a web browser on a device nowadays. But we will most likely see the theme shop, so you can go ahead and get yourself whatever theme you want. Now, it will not carry over from the 3DS. If you had a theme on the 3DS, I just had to bring that up because like it won't. It won't, just say. Alright, now, in terms of Nintendo Switch 2 and Amiibos. Now, if you know me, I love Amiibos. Amiibos are fantastic. They're fantastic items. Now, in terms of Amiibos, I don't think Nintendo is totally going to phase them out completely, but it's a possibility that we're going to go a little bit away from Amiibos, but you most likely will still be able to use them in Super Smash Bros. Whenever we get the new Super Smash Bros. Game. Whatever is going to happen, you'll most likely be able to use Amiibos. So overall, this is really, really fantastic news to hear. Alright, so now the Nintendo Switch 2, the official release date. When will we be seeing the launch of the Switch 2? Now, there's some speculation about it coming out in June, July, kind of that area. May, June, July kind of area. Or also, the more probably the option that's most likely going to happen, then November, December, September, like the September to like the holiday kind of area, you know, like the area right after summer. This is also a possibility that we will be seeing the Nintendo Switch 2 then, but hopefully we see it between May, June, July. This is when the original Switch released, so hopefully we'll see it then. Anyways, yeah, this is a lot of crazy information. I am really, really excited for the Nintendo Switch 2, because this is a thing that we've been waiting for a long time. And there's going to be so many fantastic games. The power, the raw power that the Switch is going to possess is so crazy. I'm super excited for all of this new information. What do you think about all this new information? Are you excited for the Nintendo Switch 2? Or are you like, Switch 2, eh? Switch 2, pretty interesting. Anyways, let me know what you think about all of this crazy Nintendo stuff. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And with that being said, I hope you have a fantastic day. And yeah, with that being said, see you in the next one.